you thought about the question, you're like, oh yeah, oh, I get it. Yeah?
I was approached by Bille, you know, asked to read the script, and I wasn't familiar with the story. I was familiar with the story, but I'd never read the book. I didn't know anything other than it was a revenge story. So my introduction, I suppose, was reading the script and kind of getting into it that way. And you know, it's not hard to fall in love with it as a story, with the characters, with the time, the sort of essence of what this story is about. Because even though it is a revenge thriller, if you will, there's so much love at the heart of it, and yeah, I was sort of instantly drawn to it as a project, and having the opportunity to play someone as complex and as sort of challenging as Edmond Dantès was a dream for me. So it didn't take much to twist my arm to get involved. Yeah, that was it for me. How about you? How did you get involved?
Well, I was asked to tape for 5 scenes of the series.
5 scenes?
5 scenes. And in the beginning, I didn't want to do it because I was sure I was never going to get it. It was like, I mean, Mercédès to me is a fantasy role, but I've never seen myself in it. And as I was doing the scene and was more moved by the character and by every lines, and at the end of doing the tapes, I really wanted the part. And the next day they called me and said, Bille, stop the casting and we want to meet you in Paris. So at that time I was very impressed to meet with Bille, and you know Bille, he's very, very wise, he doesn't say much, but he said, you're going to be the perfect Mercédès for it. And I was like, really, like, what's going on? And then
we started shooting.
And then the rest is history. I did avoid them because I've read the book twice. First, yeah, as a teenager in school, and then later in life with a friend. A summer, she gave me the book, and she was like, "You need to read this." And at the time when I was a teenager, it didn't strike me. But then, as an adult, I was moved by every different character and every different trajectory. Trajectory, sorry. And but then when I played it, I was so moved by this story. It's tragic. My character Mercédès, her life is really tragic, and
they all are.
Yes,
in so many ways.
Yes,
yeah,
it's true. So yeah, it's. I didn't want to watch any other adaptation because I had an image from the book, actually.
And I hadn't previously read the book. I hadn't previously seen any adaptation before reading our version. And Bille told me not to read the book and told me not to watch any other iteration. However, I did. I disobeyed Bille. And so I was just curious, I think, because it is such a, and I read the book and it's such a dense book. I was like, how are people making this into a 2-hour movie? It is, you know, you have to sacrifice characters, you have to sacrifice plot lines, relationships, and so I was curious to see what people had done with it, and sort of, yeah, not to sort of steal ideas but just, yeah, out of curiosity. You know, and what I love about our particular production is the fact that we had the opportunity to sit with these characters longer, get to know them, and we do a pretty good job, I think, of staying true to the book, you know, for most of the story. But what's amazing is obviously the whole book and the whole plot of this revenge is told and methodically thought out and calculated in such a way that he sits with it for years and years. So the fact that you're able to sit with it for years as a watcher, as an observer, and sit and, you know, revel in that discomfort and that anger and that hatred over 8 hours, I think it works better, that it's not so rushed, and you know, so I'm sort of grateful that we had this opportunity to kind of do it as a TV show. No, I thought it could be. Like I thought it could be. Like I'd feel the pressure mounting, but he's not only the suavest and most charming, gentle soul, but he's just so cool and calm and collected. The role of a director can be so stressful, but I never saw him lose his cool or like lose his temper or get overwhelmed. He just always would sort of glide onto set, and he was very collaborative, very talkative, very open, and allowed, you know, the sort of scenes to breathe, allowed us as actors to kind of bring our own ideas to the sort of floor, but equally had a very clear vision, and yeah, I just felt very safe right from the beginning, and you know, I can only hope that we have the opportunity to work with him again, really.
Yeah, I agree completely. It's true that in the beginning you're very impressed by just the fact to work with Billy, because Glenn Close, all those actors, amazing actors that worked with him, and then on set, I think he knows exactly what he wants. So when he chooses every people on set, from the DOP to the art departments, the actors, he knows exactly why he chose them. And then I think when it comes to you, he doesn't direct you, he doesn't tell you do that. He asks you questions. And it's super interesting because by the time he's going back on his chair, you thought about the question, you're like, oh yeah, oh I get it. Yeah? And I loved it, and it's true. It's after 3 takes, if he's happy, he's like, okay, next, let's do something else, and so calm, so okay, good. I loved it, really.